Well, hello and good morning. Welcome to the Lockhart Radio Podcast. I am your host, Felicia Lockhart. Today, we're asking the question: do you remember Lot's wife? As time has progressed and as time has gone on, we have all, at one point or another, bumped up against the passage that talks about Lot's wife in the Old Testament. But today, we're going to look at it a little differently. I'd like to keep in mind one of my very close friends' monikers that he always used to say, and that he says now. We spoke about an hour or so, maybe even up close to 2 hours last week. And one thing he always says is prep, pray, stay out of the way. And if you know him like I know him, you know who I'm talking about. Solemn peace. Good morning to you. So, prep, pray, and stay out of the way is what he would say. Today, we're going to look at a passage that does not necessarily have anything to do, when you think about it, of Lot's wife. But the importance of why we're talking about it today is because of the fact that right now we are smack dab in the middle of conflict on so many different levels. So many different levels we have conflict. And I want to ask everybody, do you remember Lot's wife? Do you remember Lot's wife? If you have your sword with you, I want you to go to Jeremiah 45, because this is really where I'm coming from today. We have the mindset, some of us have outgrown it, some of us are still there, and there is nothing wrong with either side until you know better. There are some people who've decided they're not going to have anything to do with this world system at all. And by the world system, I mean they're not getting enthralled with the whole voting thing. And as most of you know, that because of me being a conservative commentator, I do find myself having to deal with a lot of things dealing with this world system, because that's what I do as a vocation, right? But I have a calling and a standard that far exceeds that. I have an area of a responsibility that is so sweet and so personal that I have to garner that, and I have to keep that at the forefront of my mind with everything that I do. And so sometimes you'll see me pull way back. I may throw a couple of stories out there and they may appear to be good. I may have a couple of really great visitors come on to either Headlines with a Voice or this, my gem, my baby, the Lockhart Perspective. But for the most part, my responsibility as a watchman on the wall is to call out certain things. And right now, I see a lot of people that are dancing around the topic again of the lesser of the two evils. Lesser of the two evils, as if there's any evil in our Father, as if there is any evil that He gives us the ability to accept. I want to first pose to everyone the fact that it's easy for us to forget that this place that we are physically in as sojourners is a kingdom of somebody, a kingdom of a group, a kingdom of an organization, a kingdom of a kingdom. But we as sojourners here are called to a higher and a greater standard as a part of a more powerful and all knowing, all seeing, all on His own kingdom. Now, some people will say, well, you know what? The church and the state are separate. Well, I venture to say that right now the state has a quote unquote belief system that is their following. Understand that when the Father gave us the rainbow, originally it was given to us as a sign of peace, as a covenant between man and the Most High. That was a promise that it will not be water next time, baby. It'll be fire. But it was a covenant nonetheless. Now we have a flag that flies high with Old Glory. It's red, white, and blue. And that flag that flies along Old Glory, red, white, and blue in different countries is that of that rainbow. But it does not mean what our Father originally gave it to us for. However, it is a declaration of who that kingdom represents, of what that red, white, blue, and the rainbow that we see represents. It is a kingdom. Every single place you go, whenever you've read through any documents that talk about those great battles, when you see the battles and the armies marching in and they all win, and after they win, what do? They take their flag and they stab it right into the ground. They plummet it in the center of the battlefield to let all who come by know this land, this place is now a part of this kingdom. Whatever the flag they put in the ground represents. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the country, doesn't matter what the kingdom, that flag lets you know this is now our kingdom. There is a flag. And that flag is not the flag of our Most High, of our Father, not the flag of Yah, not the flag of Yahweh at all. And so we have to be very, very cognizant while we are walking here in this place that because we have the ability to watch television, the ability to look at news blitzes, the ability for us to watch news articles that come across our cell phones or other people bringing us information, no matter who it is, we have got to understand that the kingdom that we are reading about, in as much as our physical bodies are here, do not represent him. We get so hooked up on some of the things that we remember about this place. I'm a child of the 60s. I was raised in the 70s and the 80s, and I remember all the wonderful cartoon shows. I remember all of the great places that we used to go to. I remember when malls were popular and all you had to do was go and work and collect a little money and you'd be able to buy your favorite sneaker. And my favorite sneakers at the time was these nice little white shoes. They were really cute. I loved them. And then I had my 501 jeans. Those were my favorite things. And all I would do was pair that with a nice cardigan sweater and a nice top, and I'd be okay. And I could pay for things myself. I remember those days. I remember the movies only costing a certain amount of money. I remember us being able to do all these awesome things. That was the day of old, but it was in this place that I remember it all. But I say to you today, do you remember Lot's wife? We're getting so caught up in all of the stuff that's going on that even though, like I said, I have to bring it to you because that's what I do, that we're beginning to blend. And it's the blending that I'm here to tell you to detach yourself from. We're not to be entangled with this stuff. All of the wonderful smells of the J.C. Penney popcorn that I remember walking in the mall and buying a bag of Sears popcorn. And then we'd go down, we'd get a few those little red cherry balls, and then we'd walk down to the end of the mall, and then we'd go and sit there for an hour and watch a great show. And then we'd walk back home very safely, protected by having a group of us together. These are the things that I remember. These are the fun times. These are the times that I remember riding my bicycle and having a good day, going to class and enjoying class, having myself free from all the stuff that the children are dealing with now today. I never dealt with those things, but they were lurking because it was a kingdom and it's a system. They were lurking. All of the stuff that we see now was here then. We didn't have the ability to peer into our cell phones and see this. We had a home phone. We weren't burdened or bothered by people being able to reach us everywhere we went. We weren't worn down. We couldn't get something to hit us on a vibration on a cell phone and tell us what was going on in Congress or what the president had just did or what the foreign leaders said. We didn't have those burdens. And so now you find us holding on to this place and praying for this place and interceding for this place because it's that place we remember and it's that place that we don't want to let go of. And so, for a moment, we'll allow that kingdom to be ours. But there was a conversation that was held. And this conversation in Jeremiah 45 was a message to Baruch. Jeremiah 45, verse 1. I'm coming from the NIV so that you get it. And I'm reading it straight, no chaser. This is the word that Jeremiah the prophet spoke to Baruch the son of Neriah when he wrote these words on a scroll at the dictation of Jeremiah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, the king of Judah. Verse 2. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says to you. Again, reading it straight, no chaser. Baruch, you have said, woe is me, because the Lord has added sorrow to my pain. I am worn out with groaning, and I have found no rest. Verse 4. Thus Jeremiah was to say to Baruch, quote, this is what the Lord says, throughout the land I will demolish what I've built and uproot what I've planted. But as for you, do you seek great things for yourself? Stop seeking, for I will bring disaster on every living creature, declares the Lord. But wherever you go, I will grant your life as a spoil of war. Now, if my brother Ronnie were here right now, oh boy, hey, he would take this and he would give it to you in such a way that you would really get it. You would really, really get it. But I want to hone in on, oh, woe is me. Oh, I just got to pray for the leaders of this world because the Bible tells me to pray for them. Oh, woe is me. I really wish that everything was okay. And by attaching yourself to that place, by attaching yourself to that thing, you are putting yourself in the place of Lot's wife, even if you don't look at yourself in that way. He was just woe is me and bad as all get out and expecting something to be different. We have crossed a line. There is a fine line, a very thin line between doing what the will of the Father is and doing what we think we're supposed to do, because we do not align ourselves with the thought process that this is a kingdom, that we are sojourners. We continue to go back to whatever it is. Yeah, but they say, who's they? What did the Father tell you? He told us that, remember the passage, we had a whole entire series. Babylon is fallen, is fallen. And now you want to be able to answer the question. When a tree falls in the forest, can you hear it? Well, are you in the forest when it fell? When this place falls, when this place is finally done, are you going to be in the forest to hear it? Or are you going to get up to the high places? Are you going to be where he told you to be? Are you going to do what he tells you to do? Or are you going to continue to stand here? We have to understand that our positioning is not to be in that. But if we're constantly involved and enthralled in their pain and their anguish and their wanting to hold on and remembering Lot's wife, at what point do we remember what the Father told us to do? I love what Colonel Potter says. Prep, pray, stay out of the way. Get yourself together, intercede, stay out of their way, and do what you are supposed to do to make sure that you are prepped and prepared for this coming week, for what the Most High has you to do, for what you are supposed to be doing, for how we are supposed to be keeping his days sacred, for how we are supposed to be living the way he has mandated us to live as sojourners here. Once you start dibbling, here's the contradictory piece. Well, I know that everybody is appointed, everybody is selected. They're all selected, they're not elected. And then you go down there and you sign yourself up to deal exactly the opposite. If you know they selected, then how can you at the same time believe that your partnership or your alignment is going to help further what it is you praying for, and that is to stay in the past? They have to anesthetize you with the 80s. They have to anesthetize you with movies that come back from that time frame, babies of the 50s and 60s, because if they don't anesthetize you, then you're not going to be in alignment with what it is that they have going on, because you're not going to remember the 70s and the 80s. They need you to be attached to what was, so that they can use your power, so that they can use what you have inside of you to go on ahead and further their kingdom, because this is a kingdom. It's a kingdom. You cannot align yourself up with this kingdom and still be aligned with the kingdom of the Most High. Because if you're aligned with his kingdom and you're aligned with this kingdom, one of the kingdoms is going to lose out with your participation. One of them are going to lose out of your participation. One of them are going to lose. And I submit it's the one that's got more indoctrination, more saturation, the saturation that's constantly bombarding your mind, bombarding the airways, that vibration on the hip when you got your cell phone in your pocket and it's a news alert. This one here telling you to come over here and look at Diddy. This one that coming over here and look at Kamala. This come over here and look at Trump. This come up. How can you see him? How can you see the Most High? How can any of us see the Most High if we're constantly in it? How can we? And trust me, I tell you guys all the time, especially on over on headlines, listen, y'all miss me for a few days because I can't do this constant. I can't be attached to it. Now, what we did this morning when we brought up what was going on is for you to understand that if you are a believer and you know who you are in the kingdom, then it's time for you to go ahead on and push some stuff over, get some stuff together. But it's not for you to prep for this world. It's for you to be prepared to understand that what the time of day it is, what time it is, because nobody knows what time it is. Nobody realizes that when you read the scripture that says, no man knows the day or the hour. No, we do know something. Boy, I wish Ronnie was here. Because there are time frames that we understand completely. There are timelines that we understand completely. Those of us who understand parables, those of us who understand the way that the script is written, we do know what time it is. But you're not supposed to have yourself so heavily ingrained that, like Lot's wife, you totally are standing there for the desolation, that you are totally standing right smack dab in the middle of the storm. You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be in that place. That's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be someplace else. You're supposed to be somewhere else. Do you remember Lot's wife? Do you remember she was probably standing there after the command was given to her husband? She was probably standing there thinking to herself, oh, I can't leave because I just got a hold of those beautiful linen, the beautiful silk. Maybe it came from India. I don't know. She was thinking, oh no, this evening, let's put it in today's term, but this weekend, such and such is supposed to be coming on. I just bought tickets to thus and such's concert. Oh, they say thus and such is supposed to be in town. Well, they're gonna have a sale at Nordstrom, and if I, it can't be the will of God for me not to be here for these nice things, because the Bible says that He would never ever withhold any good thing, and for me to be able to go and get these shoes, it's got to be a good thing. I mean, He would never ever have me put those diamonds on layaway if it weren't meant for me to get them out. And what about my new dining room table? Is no telling what the Lot's wife was thinking. There's no telling what she was holding on to. Maybe she had maybe she had a Sancho that she had on the side and Lot didn't know. Who knows? But what we do know is there is still a pillar standing in that region right now today. Look that up. We've covered Lot's wife in a different facet here on this channel in the past. And having done that, we showed you a photo of that place where her body is now ensconced, allegedly, in salt. So once we get our minds in line with the fact that being in this place and of this place are two different things, that's when we will actually begin to grow, but we better hurry up. We better hurry up because we don't have that kind of time. We don't have the luxury of time. That's a luxury we do not have. All throughout the word, we see warning after warning after warning after warning. That's right. This next week, and I'm reading from someone who I care for dearly, this next week holds the first day of the seventh, the day nor the hour that no man knows, the Feast of Trumpets. It's time to proclaim what time it is, the coming of the King and his kingdom. Be ready when your King arrives, or you will come up short. The parable of the 10 virgins, the virgins in Matthew 25, 1 through 15. This is that very event. This is that parable. Trumpets is an alarm, a wake-up call to get it together, to clean your house, to get your priorities together. And the only priority is ensuring that we make it into the kingdom. That's it. 10 days to prepare. Now, this ain't for everybody. You already know this channel ain't for everybody. But for those who hear and those who understand, the 10 days to prepare, for on the 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement, a day of all days to set yourself apart unto Yahweh, your Elohim, your Elohim. Why? Because the wedding feast, the Feast of the Tabernacles, is on the 15th day of the 7th month. So we must remain pure in order to receive our set apart and righteous King at his table. This is not for everybody. If you're confused, please don't be. We must ensure our seat at the wedding banquet, the marriage feast, by putting on righteous garments. The parable of the banquet that you read in your New Testament, Matthew 22, 1 through 14. Read it. And the time is literally now, starting this coming week. These parables refer to the feasts of the 7th month. For those of you who know, you need to go to Leviticus 23. You put these parables together and you will have the instructions on how to move forward in this specific appointed time. This is a beautiful time for those who know, for those who are called to understand this. This is a beautiful time. It's too much work, though. Yes, it's too much work. That's entirely too much. It's too much work. It's too much work to do all of that. We're not called to do that. Well, then you know what? You're not. This is not for you. This is for those who understand. Do you remember those who understand Lot's wife? I don't feel like having this warning, Felicia. Eh, I just want something to tickle my ears. I don't want to think. It requires too much. It requires too much to do all of that. Obedience is such an important factor in our daily lives that even this world has some rules and regulations that, if followed, you will be okay. For example, it is a bit of a tedious fact and an arduous task at best, to sit at a red light when you left home too late. It is a task to have to stop at a stop sign when you left too late. It's not convenient to have to go to the market and stand in a long line and purchase your groceries when you left the house too late. It's a task. It is a task. But it's a task that most of us, for the most part, get prepared for. Most of us already know that if you arrive on time, you're late. That if you get there, you're supposed to be there at 8 and you arrive at 8, you're late. 7:45 is on time for 8 o'clock. We don't have a problem with those rules. We don't have a problem doing those things. We don't say, well, no, we're not supposed to do all of that because they give us 10 minutes grace, and all we got to do is walk in at 8:09. As long as we're not here by 8:10, we're straight. You're late. You're late. Do you remember Lot's wife? Do you even know why she turned back? We can speculate that it was because she was enamored of that place. But we also know at the same time it was a quite wicked place, a place where her daughters weren't even wanted by the men, because the men, like today, wanted the men. This is the same time period. And if you think that by casting a vote for one of the lesser of the two evils is going to prevent evil from prevailing, then baby, you better remember Lot's wife. Because it was this time then. This is that, and that is this. Who can go in the bathroom with you? What are they doing in the church house? Come on, somebody. I know it. I know this ain't gonna make it. Because everybody wanted this to be with flowers. Sometimes it's not flowers. Sometimes you got to have some stone. And that stone needs to pelt you right upside the head to get you in alignment, just like it does me. But if you look at everything that's going on right now, everything, and I do mean every form of wickedness that's going on right now, none of this stuff is new. Every single one of these things was going on then. And back then, if you had decided, like Lot's wife, to choose the lesser of the two evils, then you're going to be stuck. I don't know how much plainer to make it to you. I'm not going to say what it is that you already know I'm talking about. Why? Because I need this to touch people. I need this to reach some folks. I need this to get out. So I'm not going to go there, but you're not crazy. You're not stupid. You know what I'm talking about. These are those times. So as it was in the days of Noah, so as it was in the days of Lot's wife, this is that time frame. Everything that was going on then is going on now because those ancient spirits, those ancient demons are still here right now, today. They have not gone anywhere. They have not changed. They have not changed up. They know exactly how to get at man. They understand man. They know exactly what to do to penetrate you. The whole term Diablo means to hit and hit and hit and hit and hit until they get you. And that's what they do. They ain't changed. So if you understand that ain't none of that change, so if you understand that all of that that was then is right now, then that should let you understand that you are not supposed to be dibbling and dabbling with the lesser of the two evils, because there ain't no evil in him. And if you dibbling and dabbling in the lesser of the two evils, and you've elected to take one of those lesser evils and stick your name to it, then you better remember Lot's wife. You better remember Lot's wife. There is no lesser of the two. There is no softer way to describe this. This is a wake up and a clarion call to you right now for you to understand that. We're going to do this every Sunday. I'm going to come to you every single Sunday. Every Sunday, I'm going to be ringing it. Every Sunday, I'm going to be bringing it. Every Sunday, I'm going to come with it, because we have got to get our minds prepared for what it is we're supposed to do. Again, I don't understand how we can do one thing in this kingdom and something else over here in this kingdom and expect for our Father's mandates and the things that he's told us to do to be prepared for what's about to hit us. I don't understand. You can't have two masters lest you love one and hate the other. If you have two masters and you are a part of this kingdom, baby, this is a kingdom, and then you call yourself a child of the king, which king? Which king? You do understand that you are right now under the rule of the crown, under the guise of that flag. Do you not? I know you guys understand what I'm telling you. I know y'all get it. I know y'all, you better get it. Don't come to me with that, well, I just felt it incumbent upon me and I'm very responsible and I think I'm just going to go along with it and I'm just going to vote for the lesser of the two. And I just don't think that well, you can keep doing all of that. But remember something, when that shofar sounds, when that trumpet sounds, will you be ready? Will your lamp be trimmed? Will you have oil in your lamp? Would you have been so busy deciding upon the lesser of the two evils of this kingdom that you totally forgot who you were? You totally forgot who you were a joint heir with? Will you be stuck in this place, at that time? Would you not know that you're supposed to be up and gone somewhere else, up into a mountain? Don't come down if you're up. Don't go up if you're down. Don't come in if you're out. Don't come out if you're in. But wherever you are, you need to be ready and prepared. And don't come to me with this man-made stuff. Don't come to me with these man-made words. Don't come to me with none of that. I don't want to hear nothing about the rapture. I don't want to hear nothing about that word. That is not what your father told you. That is what Grecians told you. That is what they told you. You better get out of that mindset, because there's a little project. I was just chatting with somebody about that this morning. There's a little project called Bluebeam, and anything you're looking for up in the sky, baby, they got it for you. If you're looking for a pie in the sky, they can put it there. If you're looking for a kingdom in the sky, they can put it there. If you're looking for the Taj Mahal in the sky, it's been up there. If you're looking for a night, day, anything you're looking for up in the sky, trust and believe it can be there. If you're looking for a spaceship in the sky, it's been there. So don't come to me with all of that. Don't come to me with that. You better get it together. You better get it together and get your house in order. The same way I got to get mine in order. You got to get yours in order. But we cannot walk in this thing if we are walking in this thing tied to this world. Understand that if you are a part of that kingdom, baby, you can't be a part of his. You cannot, because again, you cannot serve two masters. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. That's it. That's all. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to sit up with me for the past 35 minutes. I appreciate you guys. I love you very much, and I do hope and trust that we all get it. And above all, that we realize that we're not a part of this place. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do, because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore, because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping you